139 days. Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to the vlog. Let's go. Now, is this your first time watching and you do enjoy this, drop me a comment below because I am responding to everyone. And if you have been here before, guys, by now you know what I'm gonna say. Welcome back, legends. And I have absolutely, as always, appreciated chatting with all of you in the comments below and hearing your incredibly kind feedback. So thank you very much to all of you. Now, today's video, guys, is gonna be a little bit different. Wow. It's gonna be a little bit raw. It's more of an update if you'd like. So I say it's incredibly hot out here. I'm gonna go to and try and find a park and get some little bit of shade cover. So let's go. It is hot. Let's talk about my 2024 so far. Today's video is going to be a little bit different. It's going to be a little bit more raw with less cuts, but it's all to kind of update you on my latest life update, I guess you could say. Now, I took notes because my memory is absolutely terrible and there's a lot to cover here, but it's more about the timeline of coverage so I can make sure I'm not missing anything out here. So let's bring it back to Sydney. So at the start of this year, I was living in Sydney and I had been living there for about the last 10 years of my life. And I wouldn't say I ever loved it there. I liked it, but I just knew it wasn't home for me. Though living in Sydney, it gave me some of the best friends of my life. That was like the one and true positive that came out of that place for me, which I'm incredibly fortunate to have met some amazing people there. So it wasn't all that bad. In Sydney, I was working for Apple and I'd been working for them for 12 years at the start of this year, which is an incredible amount of time. And I had my absolute dream job with them. I loved it, but I knew I was getting towards the end of my career there and I just wasn't feeling that passion for it as much as I used to anymore. But I'd always wanted to be one of those people that I see on YouTube or in life that really chase and go after their dreams. I wanted to be one of those people that wasn't dreaming anymore and made my dreams turn into a reality. So I left my job. I sold everything that I had in my apartment, pretty much got down to 2 suitcases, packed it in my car and drove back to my hometown in Brisbane in Queensland, Australia. And that was a hard decision. I left all of my closest friends in Sydney and these are people that I absolutely love and I didn't want to leave, but I knew if I wanted to make my dream turn into a reality, it was something that had to be done. So I moved back to Queensland and I was staying there for 1 month and basically, I stayed there for 1 month just so I could spend a remaining month with my family. And family, by far, is the most important thing in my life. At the end of that 1 month, I packed up my 2 suitcases and I moved to Japan on April 1st, 2024. At this moment in time, that was 139 days ago to this day. Here's a list of everything I have done since I arrived here 139 days ago. I moved into an apartment. First time in my life where I am living alone. I reunited with my partner and our son, and that was absolutely the biggest highlight after being so many months away from each other. It was just amazing. I can't even speak highly enough of it. I started going to school again after over 15 years of not being in a classroom and taking on that experience of, I guess, learning again, and not just learning, but learning a new language. It's really difficult, but we'll get back to that. I had to make friends in a brand new city where I knew no one. I started making weekly YouTube videos and sharing my life here. And within that time, I have made 17 full-length videos and accumulated over 200,000 views, which is wild to me. And on top of that, I've grown this community of over 2,700 members since that April 1st day. That is incredible. And on top of that again, the one thing that I didn't expect is how incredibly positive this community has grown to be. You guys sharing your comments and positivity about my videos and me every single week truly is what makes me want to keep making videos and content. I'm still surprised that people want to hear me talk. I can't appreciate you guys enough, and I love chatting with all of you every single week. It's truly one of the highlights of my week, I promise you. And then if that wasn't enough, the absolute cherry on top, I got married. This guy right here. I got married to my girl, and all of a sudden we became a family of 3. So we both moved out of our apartments, and especially me, like I just moved into my apartment only a couple months ago, and my wife actually only moved into her apartment 6 months ago, and we got a brand new apartment together, and now we're creating this whole new life together as a family, and it's absolutely beautiful, man. I tell you what, how life has changed and evolved in such a short amount of time. I'm telling you, anyone can do this, but you just have to take that leap. And that's what I did. And I wouldn't change it for anything. This is going to be so weird to cut together. Now, all of this change in such a short amount of time made one thing incredibly clear in my mind, which I really didn't think of before coming here. And that is how time is so limited and we shouldn't waste any of it. And my time here has been nothing short of brilliant, and I've loved every single minute of it. Which brings us to now, my latest update here in Japan with everything I've done already so far. But 139 days in, I've decided to leave my Japanese language school here in Fukuoka, Genki Jacks. See you, buddy! See ya! Thank you, mate. See ya! And onto a new beginning. Now, it wasn't an easy decision, and it comes down to really the one thing that I've been talking about so far, and that's time. I was finding that learning in a classroom just wasn't for me. I wasn't taking it on. To be frank, I wasn't enjoying it personally. Learning in a classroom isn't for everyone. And that time of being in school all the time was taking away from my precious time that I can be spending with my family. And that by far is way more important to me. And when I communicate with them or my friends I've now made outside here, I was taking on board Japanese at a much faster rate. So I felt that this was the correct decision that had to be made for this point in time in my life. So there it is. That's my latest update. That's everything I've done so far in Japan. Now, it has been a lot if you really think about it. Like, I have been non-stop since we got here, and I'm absolutely loving every single thing about this. Now, I guess the next question is, what's next? So I've been planning this journey for over 10 years of my life. I've been saving and investing money so I can enable myself to have some freedom here to be able to chase my own dream here. And first of all, it's number one on my list is family, being able to spend time with my family. And right now, I've just started a brand new chapter of my life, and I now get to spend much more time with my family, and I can't be happier. Like, this is such an exciting time in my life, and it's a beautiful time in my life, and I do not want to waste any of that. And then number two is making this content. So this allows me to have more time and more freedom to be able to go out and meet people and make some exciting content, have some fantastic adventures, which previously living in Australia, I held off on. And I don't want to neglect life and time like I was in Australia, because I was saving to come here this whole time. So it feels like for the first time in my life, I can actually start living again. And honestly, I'm so excited about that. So guys, that's my latest update. Now, going forth from this, I'm going to hold an Ask Me Anything questions about my life so far and all these things that I've done in my time so far being in Japan. So drop any questions down below. I want to hear any questions about my life so far. I want to be as upfront and honest with you as possible, but I'm going to do a video in the near future. So drop any questions, but also if you haven't already, I drop a lot of community posts on my YouTube page, which will pop up right now, where I ask you guys and request a lot of information, ideas for videos. So I'm going to pop a post up there shortly, which is going to prompt you for any questions you have about my life being here in Japan or my experiences being here so far. So feel free to drop a question down below here, or stay tuned for that community post. So guys, once again, thank you so much for tuning in today. And this is my latest update, 139 days in, and so much has happened in this time of me being in Japan so far, and I am just incredibly happy with everything that has happened so far. But guys, until next time, ja mata, and I'll see you soon, legends.